What if everything you were taught about Earth was wrong? What if the textbooks, the scientists, even your own eyes have been deceiving you? What if the Earth isn't a globe but a giant flat disk? Welcome to the strange world of the flat Earth theory, one of the most persistent and controversial conspiracy theories on the planet. It's a theory that has captivated minds for centuries, and despite overwhelming scientific evidence to the contrary, continues to thrive in the digital age. Let's journey together into the heart of this enigma. We'll explore what flat earthers believe, why they believe it, and most importantly, we'll confront those beliefs with the universe as we know it, a universe governed by the laws of physics and illuminated by the light of scientific inquiry. Okay, imagine this. You're standing on a giant disk, not a spinning sphere. That's the basic premise of the flat Earth theory. It claims that our planet is a flat plane, with the North Pole at the center, and a massive towering wall of ice surrounding the perimeter. And that wall? That's Antarctica, folks. It's not a continent, according to this theory, but a barrier holding back the oceans, preventing everything from falling off the edge. Now, where do the sun and moon fit into all of this? Flat earthers envision them not as celestial bodies, many times larger than our planet, but as much smaller, nearer objects. Think of them as spotlights, circling above the flat Earth, casting their light and creating day and night. Sounds like something out of a science fiction novel, right? But hold on, because it gets even more mind-boggling. You see, in this flat Earth model, gravity, as we understand it, simply doesn't exist. That's right, it's not gravity pulling us down. Instead, it's a mysterious force pushing us upwards at a constant acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared. What this force is, where it originates, and why it chooses to accelerate us upwards at that precise rate, well, those are questions even the most ardent flat earthers struggle to answer. This theory, with its ice walls and spotlight celestial bodies, might seem like a modern invention, but its roots actually stretch back centuries, to a time before we ventured into space and captured images of our spherical planet. The idea of a flat Earth isn't new. In fact, it was a common belief in many ancient cultures. Think about it. Without telescopes, satellites, or airplanes, wouldn't it seem intuitive that the Earth is flat? After all, when you look around, it certainly appears that way. But around the 6th century BC, ancient Greek philosophers, using nothing but observation and logic, began to chip away at this flat Earth dogma. They observed ships disappearing hull first over the horizon, suggesting a curvature to the Earth. They witnessed lunar eclipses, where the Earth's shadow on the moon was undeniably round. By the Middle Ages, the spherical Earth model was widely accepted by scholars and explorers. So, how did this ancient idea resurface? Enter the Flat Earth Society, established in the 1800s. This group, clinging to a literal interpretation of Scripture and rejecting scientific evidence, helped revive and popularize the flat Earth theory. Fast forward to the 21st century and the internet throws gasoline on the fire. Suddenly, anyone with a camera and a YouTube channel can broadcast their theories to a global audience. Forums buzz with discussions about the supposed NASA conspiracy, and echo chambers form, reinforcing these beliefs and shielding them from outside scrutiny. Now, you might be asking yourself, why, in this age of scientific advancement, do people still cling to the flat Earth theory? Why reject centuries of accumulated knowledge and observation? Well, the answer is far more complex than you might think. It's not just about a lack of understanding of science, it's about a complex interplay of social, psychological, and even philosophical factors. One driving force is a deep distrust of authority, particularly governmental institutions and scientific organizations like NASA. Many flat earthers believe that we're being lied to on a grand scale, that the truth about our planet is being suppressed for nefarious purposes. They see themselves as modern-day Galileos, challenging the established order and exposing a hidden reality. There's also the allure of common sense. The argument often goes, if the Earth is round, why don't I see the curve? It's a seductive idea, this notion that our senses are the ultimate arbiters of truth. But as we know, sometimes our senses can deceive us, and it takes scientific instruments and rigorous analysis to reveal the true nature of reality. And let's not underestimate the power of the internet and social media. These platforms, while incredible tools for sharing information, can also be breeding grounds for misinformation and conspiracy theories. Algorithms, designed to show us more of what we already engage with, create echo chambers where dissenting voices are silenced and our own biases are confirmed. Chapter 4. Qua hoc lenting bakbo caquendium. So, with all these claims being made, what does science have to say about the shape of our planet? Well, the evidence for a spherical Earth is, to put it mildly, overwhelming. It comes from multiple disciplines, each corroborating the other, forming a cohesive and undeniable picture of our planet hanging in the void of space. Let's start with gravity. This fundamental force, the same force that causes an apple to fall from a tree, is responsible for pulling matter together, and when you have enough matter, like the mass that makes up the Earth, gravity pulls it equally in all directions, naturally forming a sphere. It's not a preference, it's just physics at work. Then there are the countless photographs taken from space, satellites orbiting our planet, astronauts aboard the International Space Station. They all show an undeniably spherical Earth. And these aren't just pictures from NASA. Space agencies and private companies worldwide have captured similar images, confirming what our eyes in the sky have been telling us for decades. What about circumnavigation? Every year, people sail and fly around the globe, starting at one point and returning to that same point without ever turning around. This feat would be impossible on a flat Earth. Try it sometime, map out a circumnavigation route on a flat Earth model, and you'll quickly run into problems. And how do flat earthers explain time zones? The fact that it's daytime in one part of the world, while night in another, is a direct consequence of the Earth's rotation as a sphere. Reconciling this simple observation with a flat Earth model requires convoluted explanations that defy logic and observation. Finally, let's revisit those lunar eclipses I mentioned earlier. During a lunar eclipse, the Earth passes between the Sun and the Moon, casting a shadow on the lunar surface. And guess what? That shadow is always round, regardless of the Earth's orientation. The only shape that consistently casts a round shadow, no matter which way you turn it, is a sphere. Chapter 5. Giai Matam Li Va Anghung Sahoy. Now, despite the overwhelming scientific evidence, it's important to remember that the flat Earth belief, like many deeply held beliefs, isn't just about the science. It's about identity, belonging, and the human need to make sense of the world around us. For some, believing in a flat Earth provides a sense of community, a feeling of belonging to a group of like-minded individuals who share their worldview. In a world that can often feel chaotic and unpredictable, this sense of belonging can be incredibly comforting. There's also a certain allure to being in the know, of possessing secret knowledge that most of the world is oblivious to. This feeling of enlightenment, of seeing through the supposed lies and deceptions, can be intoxicating. It can make individuals feel empowered, like they are breaking free from the shackles of ignorance and seeing the world with fresh eyes. In a way, the Flat Earth movement shares similarities with other conspiracy communities. There's the same distrust of authority, the same belief in hidden agendas, and the same conviction that they are privy to information that the sheeple are not. Understanding these motivations, these deep-seated psychological needs, is crucial if we want to engage in meaningful dialogue with those who hold these beliefs. Mocking and deriding them will only serve to further entrench them in their beliefs. Empathy, on the other hand, listening to their concerns and addressing them with respect, even if we disagree with their conclusions, can open the door to productive conversation and perhaps, just perhaps, a shift in perspective. Chapter 6. Ket Luan Su That Van Luan Ra Rang. So, after this deep dive into the world of the flat Earth, the question remains, is our planet really flat? The answer unequivocally is no. The evidence from physics, astronomy, geology, and centuries of human observation is simply too overwhelming to ignore. The Earth is a sphere, a beautiful life-sustaining sphere, hurtling through the vastness of space. But the flat Earth theory, despite its demonstrably false claims, offers us a valuable opportunity. It reminds us of the importance of critical thinking, of questioning what we are told, and of always seeking out evidence to support our beliefs. It highlights the power of cognitive biases, the allure of conspiracy theories, and the very human need to find meaning and belonging in a complex world. So, the next time you encounter someone who believes the Earth is flat, remember that behind that belief lies a complex tapestry of motivations and experiences. Engage with them, not with ridicule, but with curiosity and empathy. Ask them about their beliefs, listen to their reasoning, and most importantly, share with them the wonder and awe that comes from understanding the universe as it truly is. Outro: Beyond the Horizon. Exploring the wonders of our universe. We love a good mystery, don't we? The thrill of the unknown, the possibility that something truly extraordinary might be lurking just beyond our perception. But as we've journeyed through the curious world of the flat Earth theory, we're reminded that sometimes the most profound truths are right before our eyes. The Earth, our pale blue dot, is a sphere. It's a fact, plain and simple, backed by centuries of scientific inquiry and a mountain of irrefutable evidence. But the persistence of this theory, the passion with which it's held, speaks to something deeper within us, a yearning for understanding, a desire to make sense of our place in the cosmos. So, let's keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep looking up at the stars with a sense of wonder. Because the universe, my friends, is far stranger, far more wondrous, and far more awe-inspiring than any conspiracy theory could ever dream up.